Welcome to Nick's Train House, and today I'm going to show you how I built this 009 Tram engine using a 3D printed kit and a Kato chassis. So what is 009? 009 is 00 scale from England using narrow gauge trains on 9mm track or N scale track. So here's a standard gauge 00 Flying Scotsman next to a 009 Taliclin. And here comes Prince, also 009. Everything is perfectly in scale at 1 to 76th. Slightly bigger than HO at 187. Here's where I got the kit, brooks3dmodels.com. Nigel's the man that runs it. This is the website. Kind of lays out all the information for you, all the pieces, parts included. So I'll link that in the description so you can have it. And here is the kit in the flesh. And I'm really impressed with this. Here's your tram body. Looks really good. All the 3D print quality on this is very good in my opinion. Then again, I'm not an expert, but it looks amazing. Same front to back, side to side. No real difference. No differences side to side. That little chimney piece that's in the roof there, that is 3D printed inside the body there on a tiny little peg. You just pop it off. A couple nameplates included, so you can pick the name, some crew members for you to paint up, and some pieces of window if you want to install windows, which I don't think I'm going to be doing. But yeah, overall, great little kit. Now, I am going to be using paint markers, and maybe that's blasphemy. However, I'm not good with regular paint. I don't have an airbrush. Rattle cans are awful. So I am using these paint markers, and these are pretty cheap on Amazon. So this is all kind of like a budget build for everybody out here looking for something budget. As you can see there, I kind of just put some paint on the roof, more or less just to test how the paint marker worked and to see how clear that plastic really is. It is pretty clear, so I advise painting both sides of it, as you'll see me do later on in this video. And basically I'm just getting to work painting the top. I'm going with a dark gray for the roof. I was kind of looking for a light gray, but I didn't have one, so dark gray it is, and that doesn't bother me too much. And I'm going to kind of speed through this here, but I basically am just doing all the little details on the sides, on the front, and then in a moment here you'll see me go after some of the little details underneath and around the detail that's printed on the roof, trying to be careful not to break anything. And I want to make sure I get underneath that little piece of detail, that pipe, so this way there's no white showing. Basically I just squeezed the marker kind of hard and oozed the paint in there more or less. So, and it seemed to work. I'm okay with it. And here I am filling in some of the finer details, the bell, the cord, and then that pipe that I just went underneath with the gray, with a gold bronze kind of metallic paint marker. Want to make that really pop, make it look shiny, make it look nice. The other thing I'm going to do is take the little funnel that goes goes on the roof there. I'm going to start painting that with that gold once I pop it into the roof here to make sure it stays in place. And then I will go back, and once I have it all painted gold, I'll go back inside it with a black marker, and make sure it looks kind of like smoke and stuff is coming out, just not pure gold bronze, And here you can see I'm coloring the underside of the roof black. This is just to stop any of that white showing through if I did miss any kind of paint spots underneath. So this way, if there's any kind of light, whatever, it'll change basically the opacity on both sides of the plastic. I did notice, like, if I held anything up to the light a little bit, I could see kind of through it. So I wanted to make sure that as much as possible this thing looked solid. So just a little bit of paint on the underside. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be perfectly layered, but just enough to make it look black. And now I am starting on the actual body of the tram engine. I am going with brown. In some of the pictures you can see he went with a red or a blue. I decided on classic brown, just like a J70 Tram should be. just like Toby was in the Railway series and in the TV series. I wanted classic, old school brown wood for my Tram engine. And when I first started applying this paint marker, it looked so much brighter than I was hoping. I really wanted a darker brown. But once it dried, the results were way better than I thought. And it's darker than I initially applied. So little rule of thumb, if you're applying paint, it looks a little bright, maybe wait till it dries, see how it looks. And if you don't like it, you can always paint back over it. So I decided I liked how it looked once I was done. And all I'm doing for my method here, because it's a little difficult to see, is I'm just going panel by panel. I'm making sure I'm going with the grain of the wood so the paint gets in between the wood panels. And I'm just going section by section and doing my brown paint marker. And as this is pretty tedious, I decided to fast forward here for you guys. I kind of just was test fitting, see how I liked the overall look of everything. I also kind of wanted to see how everything looked with, the roof on and whether or not I needed to paint the roof wood color. Then I decided on the color I wanted the side plates, and I decided on red. Now, why did I decide on red instead of the classic kind of gray or the blue like the Railway series? I decided the red because I'm running this with 2 red locomotives on a 009 layout. So I kind of wanted it to match. I wanted the color of the side plates kind of to be representative of the metal of the other 2 locomotives I'm going to be running, being Prince from the Festiniog and Talyclyn from Scarloey, kind of Scarloey, Talyclyn from the Talyclyn. So I wanted Toby to kind of have the same paint scheme in a way, but I didn't want to go full red with the paneling. I thought the side plates being red would be plenty enough. So as you can see here, I'm just using the red paint marker like I've been doing with the other panels and just going section by section and painting. I did decide, however, to paint the little cow catchers on the front and the back that normal gray like I did the roof, just because I felt like they were more industrial looking or something. I don't know. I'm doing this on the fly, so don't take yourself too seriously when you're doing this modeling stuff. Just have a good time, do it how you want to do it, and that's what I'm doing because I don't have anything I'm going off of. This is a total fictional locomotive. It doesn't really exist. It existed in standard gauge, but it never existed in narrow gauge. So this is all just for fun. So now that the red panels are all done, I went after those lamps on the front and rear. I would love it if I could figure out how to wire lights to that Kato 109 chassis and put little LED bulbs on the front and back of this thing. Doesn't have to be directional because I'm probably going to be running this on DC forever. So if anybody knows how to add lights to a Kato 109 chassis, let me know in the comments or point me to a video that tells me how to do it, because if I had working lights on this thing, it would be awesome. All right, so finishing up, here is basically everything painted. I did go and paint the cab on the inside gray just to block out some of that white. So it's just the same gray I used on the cab. And here is Toby, all finished with the little crew guy in there. Just painted him navy blue and then threw a little tan on the face and hands, glued him in there in position. Put the little red nameplate right on the front. The nameplate's white. I painted it all red, and then I took my gold marker that I had used for everything else and just very gently got the name Toby on there. It comes with 2 of them. I broke one of them, so that's on me. They're really delicate, so when you're handling those nameplates, be very, very gentle. And it comes with a slew of those other names, which you saw earlier, but I think it looks good having Toby on the front. And I'm really happy with this thing. I'm very, very impressed with the 3D printing. And here's just a view so you can see how the 109 chassis just clips in. It's a perfect fit. And the Kato chassis runs about 25 bucks. The kit, when I had to ship it from the UK to the US, was about 50 bucks altogether. So for 70 bucks and buying some paint pens that I can use for other models, I have a really cool tram engine for my layout. I'm really proud of the work I put into it. So this is a great, great model. And I threw this thing together in a night. Took me about an hour all together to paint this thing completely. It took longer for me to get the chassis from Japan when I ordered it, and that's on me. I ordered it from somewhere dumb, and instead of having it right away, I had to wait for this to see Talaclin and Prince and Toby running around my little layout on my entertainment stand. Now, this is not my final layout. This is just something I have running for right now, just so I can fiddle with trains and whatnot while I plan my full 009 layout that I'm going to go into the planning process of in a separate video. But just to have this little tram engine running around makes me so happy. So here's some video of it pulling coaches, and I hope you enjoy. There is so much more I want to cover on this channel, like the HO scale layout at my club, and all the cool things that go with that. The narrow gauge and O scale layouts at my club, all part of the same deal. All the great work those guys have done over the years and that I get to be a part of. And the cool engines I get to run at my club, like my Southern Pacific Daylight, which I completely am in love with. I also want to talk about my other projects, not just 009, but O scale with this engine and this engine, hopefully running around my living room ceiling soon. I want this house to be a train house, and that's why the channel's named what it is, Nick's Train House. I want to have fun on this channel, goofy, silly stuff like this, and I want to talk about the HO scale layout that's been my dream for a lifetime. But today was all about Toby and this 009 kit. I hope you all enjoyed.